It's time to ditch the tinted moisturiser and joggers, guys, because we're going full glam. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel where I help you with everything beauty related. And also just a huge thank you for all the love and support you've shown me on my YouTube journey so far. So like most of you, I've also been stuck indoors for the past year, and now that I'm vaccinated, I'm so excited to just venture out and just enjoy the outdoors a bit more. But one of the little things I've missed is getting glammed up for dinner date. So today I'm going to show you how to create a full glam makeup look. If you like this video, then press the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button so that you never miss a video. You can also find me on Instagram, where you can follow me for daily beauty news and also PR unboxing, which you'll find on my stories. So let's get started. So my moisturizer's on. I'm gonna go in with my primer. I'm using the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I really love this primer because it leaves this tacky finish to the skin, which kind of lets the foundation really grip hold of the primer, or the primer grip hold of the foundation. So yeah, it just gives a nice finish, and I feel like my foundation lasts really well with this. Now next I'm going to use my Dior Lip Maximizer. I use this more or less every morning, and I just put a small amount on my lips. And while I'm doing my makeup, I feel like this can get to work and really plumping my lips and just smoothing them out for my whatever lips I decide to put on. So in the meantime, I'm going to use the Milk Cooling Water Eye Patches. And this, I've got an eyelash here, I can feel it. They're really great eye masks to basically just cool the under eye area. Like, I generally suffer from redness around my eyes and dark circles like most people, so I'm actually quite fussy about under eye masks, because for under eye masks, I know you have a lot of gel under eye masks, but I feel like they kind of slip around a lot. These ones are amazing because, let me just make sure it's all nice and clean. They just kind of stick in place. Sometimes I get confused. I'm like, have I put this the right way round? But I'm sure I have. Let me just check. It says, place patch on the gel side down and leave on face. It doesn't really tell you what way round. I'm just assuming this is the way it goes because, you know, the smaller part kind of fits in really nicely here. I mean, it wouldn't be the other way around, would it, really? So I leave these on while I do my eye makeup. I don't put them too close because I feel like it just makes me feel a bit uncomfortable, but these kind of help to just cool down and calm that under eye area, which is great. So I leave that on around roughly like 15-20 minutes while I'm doing my eye makeup. So next I'm going to move on to prepping my eyelids. Now when I'm doing a full glam look and I know that my eye makeup is going to be a little bit heavier than usual, I make sure I prep my eyes in the right way. So I'm using the Ole Henriksen Anti-Wrinkle Blur Eye Cream. It's really hydrating and nourishing for the eye area. Some eye creams kind of like don't really do anything, and I feel like once you've applied the eye cream, it just absorbs so quickly that, you know, you don't feel like there's any kind of balm left there to help continue nourish that area, because the skin around the eye area is really thin, so you've got to look after it. And mine get quite red and veiny, so I like to make sure I look after the skin around that area, and this kind of like tingles when you put it on as well. So I really like this eye cream. Next I'm going to go in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in medium, and all I'm doing is just putting a few stripes on my lid. I'm going to go in with my beauty blender and just buff that in. So now that that's done, I'm just going to set it, and I'm using my Makeup Forever Ultra HD powder in Banana. I've already got a little bit out, and I'm just gonna literally press this in with a powder puff all over my eyelid. This powder literally just melts into the skin. It's so good. So I'm just getting my setting brush, which is Real Technique setting brush, and just dusting that off, just buffing the rest of the powder into it. So I'm going to use the Pat McGrath Bronze Ambition palette. This is one of my favorite palettes. I'm using this shade here, which is Throwing Shade, and I'm going to apply this right into my socket area. I'm literally just applying it into my socket here. I'm using the 225 brush from Zoeva because it just fits into the socket area really nicely. Now I don't want to go too far up, only because of personal preference. I don't like, you know, eyeshadow going too far up into the brow, but I'm just creating a nice semicircle here. But I don't want to go all the way out and you don't want to go all the way in, because we're going to really give this that kind of nice glam sparkle after. Okay, so I feel like we've got some nice definition there. We can always go in and define that a bit later on as well. You don't have to get it perfect or get that exact amount of definition to begin with. So we're gonna go over to this eye. This eye is a little bit more lazy than the other eye. My eyelid here is a little bit droopy, just because I've got like semi-hooded eyelids. So I kind of lift my lid a little bit just to get in there, and then I kind of relax it to make sure that I'm making it even or symmetrical. Next, I'm going to go in with my concealer brush and a little bit of the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, which I've got on the back of my hand, the smallest amount, and I'm just putting it on with the brush. All I'm doing is just kind of applying it here on my lid and just kind of taking it up into the socket a little bit. So I'm not really creating a cut crease, but it's just kind of lifting that area. It's just enhancing my eyelid again. And you can go over with eyeshadow on this, and because it's slightly tacky, the eyeshadow will stick really well. I'm using my Dominique Latte palette, and I'm using this shade here, which is Espresso. It's almost like this metal, kind of sparkly metal shade. So I'm gonna use my finger for this. So I'm just kind of swirling it around in the palette, and then I'm just going to apply it onto my lid, and I'm going to worry about blending it afterwards. So see, I love applying concealer before eyeshadow because I feel like it just makes it pop. You don't have to worry about continuously trying to build it up. So all I'm doing is applying it mainly about halfway through, so all the way across the lid, and we're going to finish off about 3/4 of the way out. So same on this side. I'm going back in with Throwing Shade from the Pat McGrath palette, and I'm just applying it on the very like kind of outer corner of my upper lid. So it's kind of just the area that I didn't actually apply that Espresso shade. And I'm just taking it just slightly out here. There, I really like that. I'm gonna do the other eye now. So remember, we've got, on 3/4 of the lid, we've got that Espresso shade. On that very last bit of the eyelid is where we're applying Throwing Shade. And we're just kind of like dragging it outwards a little bit. Now I'm going to use the MAC Fluid Line Gel Liner, and this is Black Track, and I'm going to just use my Everything Eye Brush from Rowan, a small amount of this all the way across, so almost like a feline liner look, but I'm going to smudge the edges because I quite like everything looking blended in together but still having those kind of key parts of the eye which are really defined. So we're going to apply this first off really close to the lash line, so almost like tight lining here. And this brush is really good for getting really close to the lash line. I guess a lot of people just haven't put makeup on for so long. So I'm taking it a little bit thicker now as I'm going out here. We're not going to take it all the way out because I want to get this first part sorted. So we've got the gel liner in place. We might have to keep layering it on to get that black really black. And I'm going in with another brush. This brush is actually the brush that came in the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette. I really like this this small side of the brush here. It's just the perfect size to kind of buff on the eyelid. So all I'm doing is just buffing that in now so that it doesn't look so harsh and it just looks a little bit blended in. Now I'm taking it a little bit further up now, so you can see it's got a little bit thicker here and it's going a little bit higher now. There you go. So we've got a slight flick there, and I'm going in with my other brush and we're going to very quickly just keep it in the same place but just buff it in so that it looks just a little bit more blended. I really like how this is now lifted up a bit more, and I just need to adjust it a little bit. There you go. So we're going to do the same on the other eye now. You've just got to keep looking back to the other eye to make sure that you're following the same direction, because the worst thing is if you end up going in a different direction and then it's really hard to kind of correct it. I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Push Up Lashes mascara, and I'm literally just coating my upper lashes. It's quite a good mascara. Like, it stays looking fresh throughout the day, but I'm going to be applying false lashes, obviously, because we want a full glam look. So we're going to move straight on to my lash application. I'm using my own brand eyelashes in Nina. These are my favorite style of lashes because I just feel like they go with everything. So I've already applied some glue and I've let that dry for about 30 seconds, and I'm just gonna pop them on really quickly now. And I'm literally just placing them in the middle of the lash, making sure that the placement is right. I'm not tucking in the inner or outer corner yet. I just get the placement right first, because then I can move it around if I need to. Right, I can see I like the placement of that. It's fine, they look the same. I'll probably just pull this bit a little bit, right? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna tuck the outer corner in, make sure that's stuck down properly, and then tuck the inner corner in. Okay, so this lash is stuck down nicely. Now we're gonna do the same on this side. There you go. And that's it, the lashes are on. Now we're gonna take off our under eye masks. I'm just putting, they're so easy to take off. And I know, you know what else I love about these under eye patches is that when you put them on and you do like a heavy glam eye look like this, you don't have to worry about anything dropping down. I'm gonna go in with my Smashbox Pore Minimizing Primer, and I'm just applying a very small amount of this on like my cheek area, because I've already got my main primer on. I have acne scarring on this side of my face especially, so I like to kind of use something that helps to just kind of smooth over those areas, because you can really see them. That's why I prefer having a matte base most of the time, because if I don't have a matte base, then you can really see that, the scarring. I'm going back in with my Ulla Henriksen Wrinkle Blur Eye Cream, and I'm applying this on the under eye area here. Now that that's done, we're gonna go in with my concealer. I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer again, and I'm literally just gonna apply some here and here. And just a few other areas because we are going for full glam. So just here to lift that area. And just a little bit here. I don't want to go too heavy with this concealer because it is quite a heavy concealer. So I think that's enough. Now I'm gonna go in with my sponge and start buffing that in a second. I like this to dry just a little bit before I start buffing it in, mainly the under eye area. So I start with the other areas, like this area here and here. And just do this bit here. And now we're going to go into the under eye area. I'm going to really buff that in. Isn't it amazing what concealer does? Like seriously, where have those bags gone? Like this concealer is so good. If you had to take only one item of makeup, like say if you had to choose just one item of makeup to use for the rest of your life, what would you use? Let me know in the comments below. I think mine would be concealer. I know it's really difficult to choose just one, but I think mine would be concealer. I used to say brows, but like an eyebrow pencil or something, but now that I've had them nano bladed, I feel like I don't really need to worry about that so much. So I think I'd go for concealer. I'm using the NARS Creamy Concealer, and this is quite a dark shade. I'll put it up on the screen, but I'm gonna apply a small amount here, small amount there, just a very small amount here, and I think that's it. I'm using my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood complexion brush, the larger side of the brush, and I'm just kind of buffing it in. When I'm using dark colors as contour, I really like to use concealers, and they've got to be kind of creamy concealers that blend easily, that don't dry so quickly in place. And I really like the NARS for that, because there's a few concealers that they just kind of set too quickly, and then you can't move around that nice deep shade. So I like this one. So we've kind of got some nice shading here. You can see, yeah. And I'm just gonna buff this in as well. Now, because I've got kind of a round face, so I like to just darken this area around here. And then I like to go in with another shade. This is the Marc Jacobs Accomplice Concealer in Tan. And I love this because it's so creamy. And I love the color against my skin tone. So that other darker shade I used gives me that extra depth, but this kind of softens it up a little bit. So it's 3 different shades sometimes that I use, not all the time. I'm gonna go in with the same brush, and I love the finish of this concealer. I'm keeping this quite high up because I want those kind of like high lifted cheekbones. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my foundation. I'm gonna use my, I forgot which foundation I'm gonna use. Which one shall I use today? Okay, I'm gonna go for my All Out foundation. I'm gonna use my EX1 and my Tarte foundation. So let me show you what that is. So I mix my EX1 foundation in number 8 with my Tarte Face Tape foundation in 47S. Now, I'll be honest, I actually haven't found the right shade in this foundation for me, so that I can just use this foundation. So I really like this warm shade, so I mix it into my EX1 to just warm it up a little bit. So all I do is I get a huge pump of, well, not a huge pump, just one pump of this foundation. And then I basically go in with a very, very small amount of this. Like, it's not even a full pump, it's like half a pump, if that. And I just mix those together on the back of my hand. And then I go in with my beauty blender and I start buffing it in. Now, I like to be a little bit kind of warmer and bronzed on my face. Just going over the nose area. Then we're gonna go in on the under eye area. Right, I'm going in with my Makeup Forever UHD powder, and I'm using my powder puff, and I'm just going under the eyes first. Now, I want this to stay all night, because when you're doing full glam, I mean, it's definitely not for like, you know, half an hour. So I'm setting this properly, like for full matte finish. We're honestly just going to press this in everywhere. Okay, go all over the forehead. Right, now we're going to take our Makeup Forever 122 brush and get the rest of the powder on my hand, and we're literally just going to dust this off. Next, we're going to go in with our setting brush from Real Techniques, and I'm just going to dust off the under eye area very lightly. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Brow Cheat in Soft Brown. I'm really liking this brow pencil because I just feel like it's really nice and light, like it's not too heavy for the brows. Now I'm just gonna brush my brows up, whatever I have of them left. And most of it's covered with foundation at the moment. So we're just gonna go ahead and start shaping the brow area. And this pencil is really nice because it's kind of fine. It's a fine kind of tip, but slightly slanted. But this color I really like because I don't like my brows to be too dark. So I like them to be, I try and lighten them. Literally all I'm doing is shaping it, and then I'm just gonna do feather strokes to fill it in. I'm now using my Lime Crime Bushy Brow Pen in Baby Brown just to kind of add in some hair strokes so that it looks a little bit more kind of natural. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Brows Tinted Brow Gel, and this shade is Taupe. It's actually a lot lighter than my hair, but I like to make my brows look a little bit lighter. I don't like them to look too dark. So it's actually a really good color for me. And plus they just kind of like, it keeps your hair in place. I'm using the Pat McGrath Throwing Shade eyeshadow, and I'm using the Sephora Pro brush in 18, And I'm using the tip of the brush and I'm literally just going into the lashes. So not really below, I'm going right into the lashes and just going back and forth. Now I'm also just kind of taking it up into the end of my eyeshadow so that everything just kind of blends together. I like that. So I'm gonna go over and do the other side. And remember, you go into the lashes, back and forth, side to side, into the lashes. So I'm going in with my espresso shade from Dominique Latte palette, and I'm using my 252 Makeup Forever brush, and I'm literally just applying it on my, kind of like on my inner corner, but on the lower lash line. I'm just finishing off with a little bit of mascara on my lower lashes. I'm using the same push-up mascara from Charlotte Tilbury. This is a really nice mascara for your lower lashes. I'm using my NARS bronzer in Laguna, and this is a really nice shade just to kind of sculpt the cheekbones. Just gonna start from the top part of the ear and work our way in. Same on this side. I don't really like applying blush with a heavy eye look because I feel like it can all be a bit too much. So I'm just going along my hairline up here to warm up my face a little bit and just give some dimension, because otherwise everything's gonna look flat. I'm gonna go along my under the jawline area here. I'm gonna go into the same bronzer with my Fenty 200 brush, and I'm literally just gonna sculpt my nose just a little bit. So I just go like, almost like create an arrow here, a little bit on my nostrils here to just help slim that down. And then we're gonna go down the sides of the bridge of the nose. And that's gonna help to just slim that down as well. I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape setting powder, and I'm choosing, you can use any powder puff, and I just like to pinch along this area here and just kind of let that set a little bit while I do the rest of my face. And I'm gonna get my Stila Heaven's Hue highlighter in Kitten. You can get any domed brush, and I'm literally just going along here and just down the bridge of the nose. So just like a little stripe across here. You can just do a circle if you want, but I prefer to do like just a little line there. I'm going in with my Huda Beauty lip contour in Honey Beige, and I'm just lining my lips very quickly. I'm literally just brushing the lip liner inwards. And I'm then gonna go in with my Bobbi Brown Liquid Luxe lipstick. It's just a really long name, but it's in Barely Nude. And I'm literally just gonna hit a small amount on the upper and lower lip and just spread this out. We're now gonna dust this away. And that is our finished glam look. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And now that this looks done, the only thing left is for me to convince my husband to take me to dinner. But as always, if you like this video, then press that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button so that you never miss a video. Until the next video, take care and I'll see you soon.